Hi and welcome to episode 25 of Weekly Geek. To celebrate our quarter of a century, this week I'm going to talk about goals and success and a little bit about, motivation really. So over the years as a sales geek, I have studied a lot of successful people. I've read a lot of books. I've spent time speaking to people that have achieved. And there's a couple of really key trends in what they do, and there's definitely a pattern in people who have achieved and successful. So I'm going to share two things with you today that kind of tie together, but there's two things that you need to have in your life in order to achieve more. So the first one is a BHAG. You need a BHAG in your life. What's a BHAG? Big, hairy, audacious goal. So if you don't have a big, hairy, audacious goal in your life, you're probably selling yourself a bit short. Everyone who's achieved anything at some point has set out with a dream or a vision, and really this is your dream. This is kind of your ultimate place that you want to be in your perfect scenario. And be bold and be brave and back yourself about what you can achieve. I think Mark Zuckerberg sort of set out to create a tin pot company. No, he was very clear from the beginning. He wanted $1 billion business. Apple, Google, there's a lot of big businesses out there that were started by people who had a big, hairy, audacious goal, and they went out and achieved it. But the second step in that process to actually make that happen, or at least get somewhere near to making that happen, is something called SMART objectives. And really, all you're doing is breaking your BHAG down into a much smaller set of goals. So some short-term goals, they might be weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually, maybe even goals for that decade. Depending on how far out your big, hairy, audacious goal is, you need to have some SMART objectives. Now, there's lots of different takes on what SMART actually stands for as an acronym, but I'm just going to give you mine today because you're watching my video. So for me, S means specific. So you need to be as specific as you possibly can be about that goal and be very, very focused on what it is that you want to achieve. M is measurable. You have to be able to understand whether you have achieved or not achieved this goal. So it can't be some generic wide thing. Put a number on it and make it measurable. A is achievable. Now, there's no point setting out for something that's not achievable. Now, your BHAG is going to be on the cusp of achievable or not achievable, and that's what it's there for. It's a big, audacious goal, but your SMART objectives need to be within the realms of being achievable, because they are short-term goals, and you are going to know whether you have an outside chance or not of hitting it. R, some people refer to R as realistic, but for me that's the same as achievable, really. So for me, R is relevant. So you have to be relevant to your BHAG. There's no point having a BHAG and then having a set of short-term objectives that take you nowhere near your BHAG. So once you've decided what this is, make sure that whatever objective you wrapped around this, that it actually takes you nearer to that goal rather than further away from it. So be relevant. And the last one is time specific or timed. So this needs to have a deadline to it. So be specific. Allow yourself to measure, make sure it's achievable, make sure it's relevant to your BHAG, and make it timed. And hopefully, one day, with a lot of hard work and a lot of short-term SMART objectives, you will reach your BHAG. So back yourself, be brave, and go and achieve what you want to achieve. That's all from this week's Weekly Geek. You can find me, Richard Few, on Instagram and Twitter at SalesGeekUK. You can find us on Facebook.com/SalesGeekUK. We'll see you the same time next week.